Anyway, welcome to today's lesson. Quick recap. Last week we talked about comprehension and a very specific subtopic. We talked about factual questions, right? So what I told you is that factual questions often begin with one of these words. Who, what, when, where, why, how. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 W's, 1 H. The word which is usually used for the vocabulary in context questions, right? Yeah, 5 waffles and 1 hamburger. That's the proper way it should be. So which is usually used for which word has the same meaning, which two-word phrase, blah blah blah. Okay? And so the easy thing about factual questions is that the answer is directly in the text. No need to infer, no need to do any complicated thinking, it's just there. And I want you to always remember to ATQ, answer the question. What the question asks for, you give it directly. Don't need to beat about the bush, don't give extra details. Just answer the question. Okay? Let's go to bubble question 1. Common sense. Ready? Go. Okay. So, 87 people. I see. 87 people got it right. I don't know why a lot of people pick number 2. Why do you pick number 2? We want a when. We're not asking for what happened. We're not asking for actions or whatever. No, this is a what question. First one is a who question. This is obviously a when. Number 4 is a why question. Yeah, this is common sense, right? So what or actually you're right. This is a how question. That's true. How is a better one. How can also be it can be both. It can be how. How did the character discover blah blah blah? Can also be what did the person do blah blah blah. Both can work. You see? What or how? How do you know that the character was angry? Because he said, I am feeling so hot-tempered right now. Okay? First one is a who question. Who? Person. Identity. Who is that? So the answer is number 3. Time frame or period. Okay, bubble question 2. Please remember that I have changed the question, so you don't need much time. Read the question, get the answer, let's go. Guys, read the question. Don't just go by memory. Read the question. We are here to think and answer questions, not click by memory. What is the point? By the way, if you want to write wives, it's W-I-V-E-S. It's a V, okay? One wife, many wives. Alright, 75. The score went down. The question wants the nationality. The nationality of the person. So in fact, even if you didn't read the passage, right? If you look at the options, you know a lot of things here don't make sense. Number 1 is Puerto Rican, possible. That is a nationality. Number 2, American, okay, nationality. Number 3, Larry Kush. That's a name, it's not a nationality. This is out. Number 4, Florida is a state. It's not a nationality. So no, it's out. So if we go back to the passage, we look for Larry Kush, we see here. In 1975, Larry Kush, an American. So Larry Kush is an American. Yeah? See, he is the one who investigated the incidents. He's the first person to investigate, to really go and look into it and find facts and information. What you can therefore conclude is that before 1975, no one investigated. People just spread stories and guesses and maybe rumors, but no one investigated. Okay? This is straightforward. Same passage, please pay attention to the question. Bubble question 3, let's go. So, we have 120 people who got it right. Nice. So, when did he conduct his investigation? We want a time frame. And let me just go back the previous slide to show you what I highlighted. See that in 1975. In 1975, he decided to investigate. I already highlighted that. If you were paying attention, it will be like, boop. No second guesses. So, Why is number one wrong? Because number one is before 1975. Maybe 1974, 1973. That's not correct. It's not correct. If I'm born in 1991, it doesn't make sense to say I'm born before 1991. That is totally incorrect. You see what I mean? Same for after. We are not talking about anything before or after. We are saying he did his investigations in 1975. That is the year. 1985 is not even in the passage, so we can forget about it. Okay, so good job. Let's go on to the next Berber question. Again, I recommend you read the question first. Then you can check through the options. Start to eliminate what is incorrect. And then verify your answer against the passage. Okay, ready? Go! So 76. Oh no, the score went nearly to a low score. Our lowest score so far is 75. Okay, let's check it out. Number one is the answer, right? It is responsible for less than half of the shark attacks. If you look at the second sentence or second line of the passage, you see great white sharks, nearly half. This figure, nearly half, almost half, less than half. Okay, let's look at number two. It is a ferocious predator. Maybe you and I know that, but the question asks you about the research. So check in the passage. Is this in the passage? No, it's not. So don't use this. Answer according to the passage and what the question asks you. Okay. How about number three? It samples rather than preys on its victims. Really? The only time we talked about sample is, where is the word sample? Here, sampling. Let's underline that. Sampling their human victims rather than praying. What this means is that the word rather than means there's the words rather than means it's a comparison. They usually pray, but when it comes to humans, they don't pray. They don't hunt and kill and eat. It's usually just like, what is this? Nom, 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 nom. Tastes funny. Okay? Even then, there is not much information in the passage. So there are so many reasons why number three is wrong. So not number three. How about number four? All its attacks are non-lethal. Really? If you look here, it says most of their attacks on human beings are not lethal. Most. That means there are some lethal ones. Lethal means they kill. Yeah, lethal, to kill. A lethal poison is a poison that kills. It doesn't just give you a tummy ache. It doesn't just make you feel sick. It kills. That's lethal. So a lethal attack is an attack where something is killed. Okay, so most of the attacks are non-lethal, but obviously and unfortunately some are lethal. All right, so if you read closely, you would have realized. And the answer, number one, okie dokie. If you're not sure, later you can come back and ask me again, okay? Since people are saying no, let's carry on to the last recap question. Ready? Same passage, different question. Okay, ready, go. Where's my marker? Where's my pen? Okay, 97. Not a high score. Wait, wrong pen. 97, not a high score, but a pretty okay score. Based on the passage, who are the usual victims? Who usually gets attacked by sharks? So if you look at this part, let's highlight. Sharks typically take a nibble at unsuspecting surface. Typically means usually, most of the time. Let's write that down. Usually. Okay? Unsuspecting surface. Unsuspecting means the surface are clueless. They have no idea. They don't expect an attack. They don't know what's going to happen. So the answer is number three, surface. Number one, it's not stated in the passage, but also not quite logical. Researchers go and study something, right? So obviously, if you think about it, if a researcher is going to study great white sharks, don't you think they will be prepared and alert and not just keep getting eaten? Right? So number one is wrong. Number two, Great white sharks are the usual victims. Somehow 31 people pick this. A victim is the one who is attacked. The one who is attacked, or who is a victim of a crime, the one who gets preyed upon. Okay? So, who are the usual victims of shark attacks? Sharks are the victims of shark attacks. Okay, that's nonsense. I don't know why 31 people thought that. Number 4. Who are the usual victims of shark attacks? Victims of shark attacks. Well done. Boy, what food do you want to eat for dinner? Food. No. Okay, so 97 people got this question correct. Let's go to today's lesson. We are going to talk about simple continuous tense. Yeah, exactly, so exactly. And some textbooks or some websites call it the progressive tense. But it makes sense. It's the same thing, right? To progress is to continue. If you look at, for those of you who are gamers, the progress in your game is how far you've come, how much you have done. Okay, so same thing. We'll look at past, present, and future. So let's just go right on to the first one. What is the continuous tense? Well, obviously it tells us that something is continuing or in progress. So if you look at the first one, this is an example of past continuous. He was knocking on the door. It's not just one knock. We're not just trying to say that he knocked on the door, but there's a progress. There's a process. He was knocking, right? He was knocking. How about present? Present continuous. Happening right now. You are learning English on Geniebook with this weird this weird guy who just knocked his iPad off the table. Okay? You are learning. It's happening right now. Yes, Ashley, correct. And last one, future continuous. He will be calling. So you see, will be. I don't know if anybody notices it. Yeah, I'm fine. I just bumped my iPad, but I didn't go anywhere. Okay, will be calling. So let's look at some patterns. Did you notice? Thanks, Chloe. Verbs in the continuous tense always end with an ing. Ing, right? But let's not get confused. Not all words, okay, this is just like a fun fact because some students are, oh, Mr. Fowler, so all ing words are. No, not all. Sometimes ing words function as nouns. So I have a quick example for you. We're not learning this today, but I thought I should just quickly address it in case some of you get confused outside of the lesson. So you look at this first sentence. Yeah, Hongning, go ahead and ask. First question. I was jogging when I fell. I was doing an action. I was doing something, right? So this is a verb. Jovian, that's a good example. I was jogging. This is a verb. But if you look at the second sentence, jogging is a great form of exercise. Exercise is an activity, right? It's a noun. Jogging is a kind of activity. Jogging is a noun. In this case, it's a noun. We're talking about jogging as a thing. All right? We're not talking about it as an action. We're talking about it as a thing. Okay? And again, in case any of you are still confused or trying to be weird, Jovian gave a good example. Look at this word, duckling. Oh, Mr. Fawaz, it ends with ing. It must be the continuous tense. Really? Okay, so the thing about English or languages is that you can't always use a formula blindly. Every ing word is no. Okay, we have to make sense of the situation, make sense of the words. You know this. I'm just have to be very specific. Let's carry on. There are certain features about the tenses, right, that we will discover along the way as we do our questions. Okay, and then later I'll summarize all of them on a slide. So I'm trying this out. Let's look at bubble question 6. And in case you didn't notice, this is something that we are discovering along the way. Okay, so you can give that a read. Ready, go. Okay, 146. High score. Okay, let's go back to the question. I plan on what my driver's license next year. Okay, next year, and plan. So you see, as what is mentioned in these brackets over here, we can use different words to indicate something that will be done in the future. So like will, may, can, plan, want, right? These are all clues that tell you something is supposed to be done in the future. And in case you haven't realized, we are talking about the continuous tense and it must end with an ing. So the only word here that is ing is taking, okay? That is like a dead giveaway. In case you're not sure still, let's look at number one. Number one says, I plan on take my driver's license. That's incomplete. You can say, I will take. But if you plan, it has to be plan on taking. Okay, take means will take. But that's not what the sentence says, right? How about number two? I plan on took. This is past tense. But plan tells you about the future. It doesn't match. So cancel. Number four, by itself makes sense, right? I will take. Okay, yeah. But the sentence is, I plan. We can't say I plan on will take. No, this is not how it goes. Yeah, I plan on taking. Okay, good. Good. How about this? Pay attention to the tense of the sentence. Okay, ready, go. So what do we have here? 1, 2, 6. All right. Jen what her assignment when her laptop crashed. So this was done earlier on in the past. Okay? And the word when also tells us that we are talking about a past event. Yeah? So Jen was doing in the past. Right? We have to use we have to have what's the word? A continuous event. You know why? Because if you say Jen did her assignment, then it's already done. It doesn't quite match this sentence. Then Jen did her assignment when her laptop crashed. Right? Doesn't make sense. Okay, Jen was doing. La di da di da, type, boom, crash. Okay, so Jen was doing her assignment. If you want to say that Jen had already finished it, la di da di da, the end, click, save. Yay! Crash. Then you must use the past perfect tense. That will be had done. If you say Jen had done her assignment when her laptop crashed, then it means did her assignment, finished, crash. Different sentence, right? Okay, so you have to use the proper tense. So the answer is was doing. Jen was doing. These two do not work because they are in the present and the future tense specifically. What not specifically, respectively. Okay, you can't say Jen is doing when her laptop crashed. No. All right, this one. I want you to, okay, when you snap at someone, it means you say it to them forcefully, sometimes with a little bit of annoyance or anger. So think about that. When would somebody say this to someone with annoyance? Like, hey, pay attention. Are we talking about something that's happening now or that happened already? Think about it. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, 1, 2, 2. Hey, pay attention. I am talking to you. See? I am talking to you. Some of you might say, but Mr. Fawad, shouldn't it be was talking to you? If you were talking to someone, then why would you tell them to pay attention now? Hey, pay attention. I was talking to you yesterday. Huh? If you were talking to someone in the past and they were not paying attention, then you would say something like, hey, you should have paid attention. I was talking to you about something important, right? You should have paid attention. Why didn't you pay attention? But now Clara is saying, okay, Ghibli, we need to discuss the big business thing that is going on. Ghibli, hey, pay attention. I'm talking to you. Why are you looking at the sky? See, she is talking to him right now and he is daydreaming or whatever. So the answer is I am talking. So was talking does not fit. All right. And see, the will be talking doesn't match because of snapped. Okay, snapped shows some kind of urgency and annoyance. So it doesn't fit so well. If Clara says, "Hey Ghibli, pay attention," she advises him or she says to him, then it's possible. Okay, I will be talking to you about something important, but still, when you talk to someone, do you say, "Okay, I will be talking to you about something important now. I will be talking to you about something important in 2 minutes. Are you ready?" It just that it just seems unnatural, right? So it seems unnatural, especially since you're asking for the attention now. Okay, so let's carry on. I edited this slide so it should make sense now. Let me double check. They were what when the fireworks started? Yes. I tell you the answer. I'll tell you later on. Let's look at it. Ready? Go. Okay, so 61 people. What did I ask you? I said, look, which word or words tells you the tense of the missing verb? This is the missing verb. There is supposed to be a verb here, but it's missing. I want to know what tense to use. Which word tells me the clue? Is it they? Look, they is from the passage. They? Is it his birthday? Is it started? Is it were? You see, read the question. Last week we had this, or on Tuesday we had this, I had this misunderstanding. I thought, oh, started is a possible answer, but I realized it's not the possible answer. Think about it this way, okay? If you look at the word started, then you get two possible answers. It can be were celebrating, or it can be had been celebrating. You see that? A sentence can match both answers. For example, you can say, they were celebrating his birthday when the fireworks started. Okay, makes sense. You can also say, they had been celebrating his birthday when the fireworks started. Okay. But if you say, Mr. Fawaz, we definitely cannot use this answer because had been does not match this blank. How come it doesn't match this blank? Because of the word were. Were is our clue. No matter what you say, if you use the word were, it can only be celebrating. You cannot say they were celebrated his birthday. You cannot say they will celebrate his birthday. Nothing else fits thanks to were. You see that? So the answer is were. So this is the explanation. Had been celebrating also can match. Were celebrating also can match. But because we have the word were, we have to eliminate had been celebrating. That was what I was trying to say. Okay? In case any of you needs, if in case anyone needs to take a screenshot, this is it. All right. So by the way, Wildan, you wanted an explanation. Was it for question 8? And break time. Which flower is the furthest away? Far, far away. Sunflower. Okay, I like that because the sun is far away. Cool. But I want a bigger pun. Celine, you are right. Wait. How are so many people getting it? You guys must have been here on the other lessons, right? Is there really a flower called moonflower? It sounds legitimate though. Okay, let me show you the answer. Let me explain to you why. I'm getting a lot of weird guesses, by the way. Farflower. It's called chamomile. Chamomile. There's also a tea called chamomile tea. They use a flower, chamomile flowers. Okay, chamomile. Why mile? Mile is a unit of measurement. Imperial unit of measurement. So there are usually two units of measurement, the imperial and the metric system. So in the imperial system, we say inch. In metric, we say cm. In imperial system, we say mile. In the metric system, we say km, but these are not exact. These are not exact values. Okay, so for example, 1 mile is about 1.6 kilometers. Not exactly. You have to convert the units. Okay, so next one. What do you call a tea making event? Everybody knows the answer. What is going on? Why? An activity. Activity. Okay, let's carry on. Part 2. These were the rules that we learned along the way. Do you remember during the questions there were some things I wrote in brackets? Here they are for you to see. Okay, past continuous tense will usually be was or were plus the verb with an ing. So this is not a word. You're not saying verbing. Whatever the verb is, put that in, then excuse me, then add an ing. Okay. Present continuous, you have to use am, is, or are depending on the number. So like am is definitely for I, right? I am knocking the door. I is for a singular subject. She is knocking the door. You know what are is? They are plural subject. They are knocking the door. Okay, that's pretty easy. Future continuous tense is usually like a modal verb. For example, will, or what I said about similar verbs would be like I plan on, I intend to. All these other verbs give you the idea that you want to do something in the future. Okay, you will be able to figure it out. It's common sense. You can do it. Okay, so let's look at the simple past. Let's look at the past continuous versus the simple past, because some sentences can have both tenses, but the meaning will be different. So if you look at the first sentence, when father got home, mother was cooking. The explanation is here, but let me act it out. Let's say I'm mother, I'm cooking. La di da di da di da. Ding dong. Oh hi. Father just got home. See, mother was cooking. Already in the process. That's number one. Number two, when father got home, mother cooked. This is mother. Ding dong. Oh hi. Let me cook now. You see? You see the difference? The difference in tense affects the cooking. When did the activity start? Okay, so in the first one, to say again, mother was in the process of cooking. She was already cooking, blah, 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 when father came home. Second one after the other. All right? Okay. So you have to use the correct form depending on what you're trying to say. Let's look at Berber question 10. Again, I'm not going to launch it there. I want you to look at this. Which word tells you the tense of the missing verb? Which word over here in the sentence tells you what the blank should be? Are you hearing this? I'm not asking you to fill in the blank. I am not asking you to fill in the blank. I'm asking you for the clue. Which word in the sentence is the clue? Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Okie dokie. 94? Golly. Yeah, my cats gives you all clues. Give you all clues. You are very smart today. Which word tells you the tense? So some people say, oh, the answer is reading. Is it? So can I say I am reading that book tomorrow? Yeah, can. Okay. Can I say I will be reading that book tomorrow? Okay, sure. Can I say I was reading? Oh, I was reading that book. Cannot, Mr. Fawaz. I was reading that book. Tomorrow? Huh? Nani? Why can't you use was? Because of this word here, tomorrow. Tomorrow is the word that tells you the verb. So when you look at the word tomorrow, you know you cannot say any old word. Okay? So the answer is number 3. If the sentence was just reading that book, then yeah, reading is a clue. But now I'm telling you that it's about the future. So we cannot have all the past tense verbs, right? Tricky. So what you can do is whenever you have an answer, ask yourself if the other answers can fit and why not. You need to sometimes challenge yourself. And this is especially during your homework. During the exams, I don't expect you to do that. But while doing your homework, I know it can be difficult because you might have a lot of things to do. No time to sit down and leisurely think about grammar. But if you ever find yourself with time, do it for one or two questions. Why not this? Why not that? Okay? So we can say, I am reading the book tomorrow. Yes, it can work that way. I'm not reading that now. I'm reading that tomorrow. So please don't touch it. Can. I will be reading that book tomorrow. Okay? There's an intention. Sure. I modified this question because last lesson I had a problem, right? Now it's fine. Ready? Go! The musicians what all night for their performance tomorrow. Okay, so the performance is tomorrow, not today. Then there's this thing going on here. They are doing some kind of preparation. Maybe it's today, maybe it's yesterday. Okay, fine. Let's check the options. Number one, the musicians preparing all night. Do you realize that sounds funny? And very few of you picked this, so definitely wrong. Is it are preparing, were preparing? We are missing a verb there. So number one is wrong. Number two is correct, is the answer. That means that, let's say I'm in the band, okay? Tomorrow is my performance. I will be preparing all night. Means maybe from 7 o'clock onwards, I'll be preparing, polishing my instrument, setting up the stage. I don't know. All the way till tomorrow. Very bad idea, but that's what the sentence is trying to tell us. Okay. Number three, the musicians is preparing all night. Excuse me. We have musicians, plural. So is wrong. It should be are preparing. If you had said the musicians are preparing all night for the performance tomorrow, that is acceptable. You are telling me that that is the plan. They are preparing. They are going to spend the whole night preparing. Okay, fine. But the verb here is wrong. It's eh. How about number four? The musicians were prepared all night. This is just so confusing. They were prepared. Done. But their performance is tomorrow. Huh? Were prepared all night that for the performance tomorrow, it doesn't match. See how it doesn't match? Okay, so number four is out. If you want to say they were prepared all night, then you have to talk about a past event. The police officers were prepared all night for a potential attack. See? The police officers were, I would say ready is a better option, better answer. Were prepared, but you can say prepared. They were prepared all night for an attack or for a potential attack. That means the whole night the police officers were on standby. Give them the signal and they will go. But it has to be in the past. So for this question, we got 102 correct answers. Not bad. But remember, high score is 146. Question number 6. Okay, so let's carry on. We have a total of 13 questions today. So this is number 12. Ready? Go. Yes. This is singular. Aha. Exactly. This is plural. Men. The men. So we have a plural word here. Definitely plural. That's why you cannot say number one. You cannot say is working. It has to be are working. So 1995? How did we get a lower score than the previous question? Oh no. Again, you cannot say works. You can say work. The men work very hard. So again, number 3 is wrong. How about number 4? The men working very hard in the factory. It's missing something. If you have this sentence, the men working very hard in the factory, then you are expecting something else. Let me explain that to you. The men working very hard in the factory are from my father's company. Then you can shorten it to be like this. The men working in the factory are from my blah 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 company. You see, that is another way you can use the word working even without a verb before that. See what I mean? So if you want to have the sentence like the men working where and what about them? Okay, but the sentence is just like that. The men what very hard in the factory. So number 4 is totally out. If you want to say the men who are working over there, remember men is plural, so the men who are. All right, Barbara, question 13. Yeah, this is Hogwarts. It's not Hogwarts. This is not Hogwarts. This time last year, what this means is that, what is it today? Today is the 22nd of January 2022, right? At this time last year, 22nd of January 2021. That is what this sentence means. This time last year. You get what I mean? This time last year, that means on the 22nd of January 2021, I was what? I was studying. Because why? Studying is a process. In this sentence, we're talking about last year, that period. So you are going on. Studying is a process. You go to school every day and you study. So that's why we don't say studied. If you want to say studied, then you use it to refer to when you are out of school. I studied at Hogwarts, to say that I'm done. That I was there. How many years ago? I don't study there anymore. That's how you say studied. Okay? So this time last year, I was studying. It has to be was because we're talking about I. Definitely not were. Definitely not will be, because will be is in the future. But we are talking about last year. So let's not confuse the tenses. How many people got this right? 93. Okay, not bad. All right. So we are done. This is the summary slide. Is this 1 or 2 slides here? We have 1 summary slide. So thank you very much for attending. Forgive me for my shortcomings, everybody. I'll see you next week.